Hey YouTube, my poofy hair just got done brushing. I'm gonna make it a quick video tonight. I'm kind of late. I said I would make another video today, and I've kind of been slacking off. I've been enjoying myself a little bit. Um, where? Yeah, I've been going through a lot of interesting spiritual stuff lately. Uh, where do I start? Um, well, if anybody's paying attention to my rambling and seemingly incoherent talks on anything, I took a huge leap today, uh, leap of faith kind of thing, and I'm surprised at honestly, how painless it was. Like it was less awful than I expected it to be, and I'm saying that because it, the interaction I have been having with someone has been very unorthodox in terms of knowing each other at all, or not, uh, in the physical human existence kind of way, other than what I've shared or what they've shared, and I'm just here. I'm wait. I'm not waiting. I'm hoping. This morning I was feeling. Let me guess. I start there. Let's start there. This morning I woke up, and for the past 2 days or 2 days or so, I've just been feeling this tightness and tension in my chest because it felt like there was something I needed to say, but I was hesitant and afraid to do it. And I finally just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it, and whatever happens, happens." And I did. And now all of a sudden, this tightness that I've been feeling in my chest is now suddenly gone. The feeling that causing it is much more amplified. Uh, and not to say that's a bad thing. It's not. It's amazing. Yeah. Um, I'm just sorry. I'm emotionally kind of giddy. I guess would be the word. I'm just feeling giddy today, and I haven't felt like this for a while, for a long time, honestly. I mean, I felt it in different. Uh, it's hard to compare apples and oranges from what I felt before and what I'm feeling now. But uh, yeah, it's peace. Like I told someone how I felt about them, and in full rawness and vulnerability, and this person, they know who they are. I don't want to draw too much attention unless they want it, and I'm not gonna shoot. I guess I don't know. I'll figure that out later. And again, I'm rambling, so sorry for that. But yeah, this person just, there's a level of peace that they embody that it's something I have craved for a very long time and have never really truly felt. Um, and just interacting with them and them seeing me turning into a hot mess, and not running for the hills, scared or lighting me on fire and sending me to the stake. You know, God has a sense of humor, and I love it. You know, I'm excited for whatever comes next, and I'm not looking to figure out what it is anymore. I'm just gonna let what will be, and I know that on the other end of it is the most amazing thing that has ever happened to me, or excuse me, that will ever happen to me. We're both, has and ever will. I guess I should say, because it's not one or the other. At this point, I'm not with someone, uh, in terms of a committed relationship, but I feel it. In the energetic sense, I feel it, and I'm ready for it. I've been driving myself crazy for the past 3 years, as I've traveled, and thinking that, it was like this almost instinctual drive to find my person, and I've been wrong on so many occasions, and now it's like I feel like this is it. This person is it for me, and it's not something I can describe the feeling, because when I'm interacting with them, I'm paying less attention on what they're like. I'm paying attention, but I'm not focused on what they're doing, so much as I'm observing their personality more than their whatever they're doing. Uh, um, and how do I explain that, without being like, I'm being a little coy here. I'm going to apologize, because I don't want to embarrass that person, or send any kind of negative attention to them. I guess it's kind of the bottom line. I don't want to send any negative attention to them at all, but because this person is amazing. Like, I can't say it enough. Just the gentleness that they carry in them, and grace and graciousness. It, the kind of person who would stop, like me, the kind of person, uh, who would also stop a line of traffic behind them to escort a turtle or some slow moving animal off the road, just because. And or go out of the way to help someone without even trying. Uh, if that makes sense. Anyway, so that aside, that whole situation aside, and how I feel about it, how I know I'm kind of stone faced. You can't read me very well, emotionally, because I just don't learn skills, poker face, or whatever. But so yeah, aside from that, I went down to do some work this morning, got paid for that, and then I spent the rest of the day, uh, working on getting my place situated some more. I'm still working on that project, and um, then I went to the beach Just had a little time at the beach, just watching the waves and yeah, just enjoying the tranquility of a few moments at the beach and walking around town. Uh, I kind of want to go for a ride tomorrow, a bike ride again. Um, at some point, I may take you with me and show you some different scenery. Uh, Jury's out on that. I'll decide when I decide. I'm not good at making plans because the best laid plans, you know how that goes. Uh, so anyway, that's kind of the short and skinny of it right now. Just laying down the concerns of life, the burdens of life, and the daily hustle has been a very difficult challenge for me. And the way I feel seen and heard and understood by this person has really, it's like given me the push that I've been wanting, like spiritually speaking, to really get past whatever issues I've been dealing with for the past so long. Like I said, just 3 years. It's been a very long time. It's been most of my life, but I I'm just ready for new adventures with my forever person. Uh, with that person. And I don't want to put the cart before the horse. Again, nothing's nothing yet, or nothing's anything yet. It's just beginning to take shape for me, symbolically, in terms of the proof that I needed, or the green light I was looking for. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Just it's been a big day for me emotionally, but at the same time, but the day itself has been very, very just chill. I've been in a good mood today, and I'm grateful for that. Um, how how much that really gets into me, and in a way that I've never felt. I've felt peace before, but not like this. And the peace the moments of peace I've felt in the past have never been substantially noteworthy, or long lasting for that matter. Not that it ever will be, but you know inadequate would be the proper word. It was always not quite good enough, and now I've gotten away from all the negativity that was really dragging me down in the past, couple months, since January, and I'm in, well, new place, and it's the energy is different here, different than where I was, and yeah. Um, the money is still a concern, but at this point, I don't really. It is, but it is a concern. I will do whatever. God, those eyebrows, Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, I need some hair care, guys. I need some serious hair therapy. But yeah, the money's only a tangential concern at this point. I'll go out and get what I need when I need it, but as far as worrying about not having it or not having means to uh, get what I need, I don't, whatever. Brush shoulders off, you know. Uh, I know God's got me. Uh, yeah, I mean, if He showed me that because in the time I've spent traveling from the time I sold my house and went nomadic and living in my car and hotel rooms and wherever I could find to stay at any given time. Uh, homeless, poor, no money, no job, no nothing. I've crossed the country, America, 3 times in my car, and after the money, from the house ran out, because that a lot of that went to my failed poetry book project, and then a lot of it went to uh, a former classmate, from my high school days that I barely even knew. I only knew them for like a hot minute. Uh, they were in some dire straits down here, and they were in San Diego in a bad situation, and some kind of schizoaffective disorder or schizophrenia, and they were in need of help, and I of course couldn't say no because that's just not who I am, and we were traveling together for a period of time. We weren't dating. There was no, nothing there, and one of my false assumptions, but uh, anyway, so we parted ways at some point. They're up in Northern California or somewhere. Is last I knew, uh, and by all accounts, they've been doing pretty good for themselves. But anyway, back to the money. That money ran out because cost that was my that was what I was living off of, was the money from the house. I was living off that, and I was trying to pay for a book to finish publishing a book so I could try and make some more money. But the publisher screwed me, and I could go into that for a while, but I won't. And then I helped this person with some dental issues of their own that I had the means to help them with. Uh, Probably wasn't the wisest thing to do, but sure, off my back. That's just how I am. I don't care. Money comes and money goes, and God will give me what I need. God will give us what we need if we ask, and if you just trust that it'll happen. Uh, and after that money ran out, it did run out eventually. After all that money ran out, it was scraping and scheming and trying to find a way to make it work ethically, not even have to steal shit from anybody. Um, not that I'm would ever do that. I have in the past. When I was a kid, I was stupid and done some stupid shit, but who hasn't? But I've had people give me money and clothing, and money, clothing, gas, food. Hell, even give me weed sometimes. I mean, I've had people, how many times? Even on occasions I had when I had the car, I needed tires because they blew out or they were not good enough to drive on at some point or another. Yeah, just various little things, things you wouldn't think people would spring for helping you with, random, completely strangers, off the street. And that was a very big lesson for me to learn, was that I had spent most of my adult life feeling guilty for being in positions of needing to be helped by my own family, and carrying this burden of I have to pay it back someday. Now, not they never said I need to, but it was a moral imperative for me. My family, they were generous, but there was something deeply wrong with them spiritually, like as a group, and and this coming from someone who was who endured religious abuse, from those people. They were very religious and high and mighty, and not to get into this, but just to kind of give a background. Not to get into the pity party. That's not it at all. I'm over that. But the facts are facts. It was eye-opening to see that number one, the burden of having to pay everything back to everybody who's ever helped you is a fallacy. There's no unless there's obviously the agreement between you that you will. That's don't honor your promises. Don't flake on that. But uh, don't make promises you can't keep. That's for a side note. Don't do that. But um, yeah, it's just like it was a lesson for me to learn that when the chips are down, they're not gone. They're just, there's more in the back room waiting to be delivered. You just gotta ask, hey, I bombed out on the card hand. Can you give me some more chips? That's that kind of mentality between God and us is if you're flat on your ass at the poker table and you need more money to keep playing, to keep playing the cards you dealt, then ask. And it was kind of reinforced again this past couple days. I had gone to the food bank to get some food, and someone had stolen an apple pie out of my bag, and it's like I clearly wrote on my bag, "Don't touch, it's mine," et cetera, et cetera. I put it in the community refrigerator at the workplace I'm at, and I went back, at the end of my work that day, that for them, that I was working for them, and someone else had come along while we were gone, out cleaning trash off the beach or whatever, and someone rifled through my bag and stole my food, and it was like, it's kind of like reinforcing the whole. Not for me. Like it was. I was kind of the catalyst for talking to. I guess my situation with these other quote unquote coworkers or homeless folks that are it's like there's no need to steal. Like period. Like if you need something from life, or for life, just go ask. Find someone and I'm not encouraging panhandling, but there's nothing. The society will tell you it's wrong, and they'll make laws about it to make it illegal, and make you the pariah for doing it, and so be it. If that's how they want to act, that's how they want to act, and you can't change that. But just remember that, for those of you that are spiritual or religious or believe in Jesus or whatever, Jesus was a homeless man. And I'm sure as shit it wasn't any cheaper back then to live and survive. Don't mind inflation concepts, but that doesn't matter. But it still cost money back then to live and eat and do whatever you had to do. There was money going on. He was homeless. He walked away from his job. He said, "Fuck the world. I'm going to do my own thing." And how do you suppose he did that? How do you suppose he made it work every day with the financial needs and the material needs? He had people help him, and God was helping him through people. Put it that way. God was moving through people to help him, achieve his goals and to live his life when he had no means to resolve those issues. Uh, Ironically enough, I've stood beneath the statue a statue of Jesus out there where I grew up at, many times. It's kind of funny. And I have a feeling, and I have a hope and a desire that as I spend more time here in this new place, that I can kind of recapture those memories that I've of the things I've experienced and seen as I've been traveling, because it's been such a blur. Like, I've got photos everywhere. I've caught a lot of photos, and so that's uh, not a lost collection of memories and signs and things I've seen. Notepads full of stuff. Digital notepads. It's just like this journey it has literally been a pilgrimage for me, and it has. I've learned a lot of things in a very short amount of time spiritually that I thought I understood, growing up, and was made to believe that Christianity had the answer for. And I'm not here to have a theological discussion, but I was left sorely wanting in that department for a lot of my life, and then punished for looking outside of it by my family on many levels. Um, and so I had only been getting bits and pieces of truth here and there over my entire life, and I've been searching it for myself. Nobody could give me the guidance I needed. There was no one there for me in that regard. They were all blind to the truth themselves and thinking that they had the answers. People. A lot of people out there who think that they can see the truth are actually blind, and they're the ones screaming the loudest from the rooftops of these churches, and they're at there. That's a bad. That doesn't make sense. Screaming from the pulpit, excuse me. That's what I meant to say. Wagging fingers and shit. Thou shalt not this or that. And sure, but there's merit. There's merit to the things that can be learned from those Bible verses or the Torah or whatever you choose to believe in if you're religious versus spiritual. But even me as a spiritualist, I'm not religious anymore. I grew up that way, and I said I don't fit there. Uh, but I have learned more in this past 3 years than I have learned my entire life in that regard. And as I've begun to really compile this new way of seeing things and way of being in the world and existing, and all these new, I have multiple times felt like my spiritual senses have enhanced or increased or gotten stronger. Uh, Prior to me going to my grandparents' later than it should have been memorial gathering with the family, my intuitive gifts were very inactive, I mean, I'd had moments here and there over months or years spread apart from each other, but as soon as I it, when it all started, when God said, okay, this enough is enough, like God literally had to step in and say, time to just tear it all down. Like I had to just completely tear my life to the ground and light a match with gasoline and throw it on the pile of rubble because metaphorically speaking, I didn't burn my house down. No, but metaphorically I did. Like I burned my life down to the ground because it was all built on lies and misconceptions and failures from all sides. My side and from on the side of everybody else in my life, my family, my friends, my coworkers, my whoever, uh, and not all of them, but the majority of them. My friend back home was a huge saving grace for me in a very difficult part of that period of time. Uh, and as I mentioned before, I do hope one day to turn the tables and do the same for him because they're going through some difficult financial situations themselves. Just to, it's not even out of like obligation. I want to help them out of just gratitude because I wouldn't have made it. Uh, and even now, my mail is still going to their place back there, and I'm now that I'm here, I can finally adjust that situation. But and actually, now that I reminds me, I need to do that still. I need to get the change of address form done. But yeah, life has changed so much in the past 3 years. It's been a head spinner. Like my eyes are still spinning in the document. Doing this. Obviously not really, but you know what I mean. Like the dizziness has not stopped yet, but it will soon. I know it will. I feel it, but I'm practicing gratitude every day. Like and even when I don't say it, out loud or with any intention, I'm always grateful. Like for all of it, for all the hardships, for all the good times, all the bad times, because uh, pain builds character, as they say, and it's true. Uh, so we're going up on 33 minutes now, so I'm going to cut it off, and I will talk to you later. If you like what I'm doing, just hit the buttons, do the thing. You know how it works. I'm not much for plugging myself. It just I need to, but I need to be more diligent with that. Anyway, good night. I love you.